Okay, so the next is Angular 14 features. We'll see it one by one. The first is standalone components. Now it's a feasible option and Angular modules will no longer be required. A standalone component is not declared in any existing module and it directly manages its own dependencies. So some key points about the standalone component. Standalone component has the flag standalone. We need to set the value to true. Then not required to add a standalone components in ng module. We can import the required modules in a component itself using the imports property of component metadata. Then to generate a standalone component, use the flag dash dash standalone while generating the component. For example, here we can see the standalone component. So the standalone true property in a component metadata. So this is very important while creating standalone components. Well, then the next is typed forms. Typed forms ensures that the values inside of form control, form groups and the form arrays are type safe. So this will work only with reactive forms. For using this feature, that is typed form, tsconfig.js should be in a strict mode. Also still we can use the untyped version of forms. As we see here the example, we have created one typed form group. As we see here, contact form, using new form group, and we are passing the data model for this form group, which consists of name, email, message and number, and we are creating these controls using new form control. And here we are passing the string type for this name form control, and below there is email, message and number. This is also string type of a form control, uh, as we have mentioned here the default values string. Then we have created one untyped form group, as we see here, using this untyped form group constructor. Using the new keyword, we have added the name, email, message and number, and here we are using untyped form control and we have other form controls in our untyped form group. So in this way we can create typed form group as well as untyped form group for older versions of forms. Then the next feature is we are having the streamlined page title strategy. Okay, so add a title property while doing configuration for different routes. As we see here, we have added this title property for this route. Then the next step is the extending the ng module class with a title strategy class. As we see here, we have made this app routing module extends with title strategy. Then we need to override this update title method in a ng module. As we see here, update title. So this update title method will take a router state snapshot object, you see here. Then in a update title method we'll build the title from router state snapshot, which is passed from the which is passed to this update title method, and then we'll set the title for a document which is generated by using this build title method of this title strategy class. and here, as we see here, we are setting the document title using this page title, which is generated by build title. This build title is using a router state snapshot object. Okay, we'll see the example here, full working example. Okay, as you see here, we have defined 3 routes, and we have added the titles property for each route. As we see here, we have added these titles for standalone demo and the contactors and the home component. Then we have written this app routing module, which is extending to our title strategy class, and we have override this update title method, which takes snapshot router state snapshot object. And then we have build title using the build title method of title strategy, which uses the router state snapshot. And once we build the page title, we'll assign it to the document dot title. In this way, the Angular 14 has streamlined the page title strategy. And Angular 14 has extended developer diagnostics. That means if user make any mistake while typing ng commands, Angular CLI will suggest the correct command options and the correct command also. So as we see here, if the user types ng serve, and if he mistakes while typing this command, CLI will suggest user to correct this command, as we see here. Then Angular 14 has support for bind the protected component members. So now in Angular 14 we can bind protected members in template. As we see here, in a template we have bind this message. Now it won't throw any error, it will compile smoothly. And in our component we have defined message class member as a protected. Yeah, so that's about the bind the protected members in a template. Okay, so the next is optional injectors in embedded views. Angular version 14 adds supports for passing in an optional injector when creating an embedded view through view container reference dot create embedded view and template reference dot create embedded view. As you see, for example, as you see here, view container dot create embedded view method, it will take a template reference and the context and third optional uh, optional injectors, as we see here.